difference was extremely significant, and told you, I used a word when we looked at the front players, when the passers were trying to find them, they were static. Atleti have been extremely intelligent in applying exactly what Cholo Simeone has asked them to do. They don't need to, they're not asking to sparkle. The fans don't demand that they put on a five-star show. The demand is that they win. And from start to finish in the first half, they've looked the more likely side to win, not simply because of the chances, but because they're far clearer about what they're doing, far more effective when in possession. And I thought it was very interesting. You asked me, will there be a change? And I thought that after 45 minutes it might be prompt. But that moment we saw in a very despondent group of Barcelona players, completely different to the noise and the smiles and what we say over here, the animation of the home side. The Barcelona side looked disconsolate, individual, 1 and 2, downcast, as if they kind of know we're right up against it more than the single goal here. What I liked to see was Messi picking out Gomez, who is almost always on his own. He looks like a guy without close buddies in that squad all the time. And there we see another image where another leader is taking him aside. Messi was counselling him about what he wanted. Small glimmers of hope for a side which is being outplayed and outrun by the better team tonight, and I'm full of admiration for everything that Atleti are doing, apart from the way that he closed the half when he sat on his backside complaining instead of getting up and playing on as Mateo Leo's invited him to do.
Well, Mateo Leo, we've been talking about him quite a bit in the first half, the fact that he loves to play advantage and, to my mind, gets it right more often than not. There was a moment towards the end of that first half, Graham, when Leo Messi went down just inside the Atletico area. No penalty was given, play was waved on. You've since been watching quite a few replays, haven't you?
He had no culpability for the referee because of the speed at which it went, but looking at it again, there's no question whatsoever there's a Gabi foul, that Messi wasn't protesting unfairly, that it was a penalty, but boy oh boy, you need to be superhuman to see it at that speed with that crowd of bodies.
So the second half underway, Barcelona defending the goal to the right of your screens. They've got 45 minutes to try and get back into this one, and immediately it's a free kick in favour of Atletico, the past masters of dead ball situations. They haven't been scoring too many from them this season, as we mentioned in the first half, and here's another opportunity for them now. The ball driven in, finding the head of Samuel Umtiti. It'll be a corner for Atletico. They're playing towards the ultras, the more vociferous fans behind the goal, defended by Ter Stegen.
Well, you've been praising Stegen, and rightly so, and match by match he's been better all season, but this is not his favourite situation. His judgment of when to come from the cross ball, from open or set play, ain't the best.
Carrasco plays it short to Koke, gets the return ball, danger here, drives it in straight into the hands of Ter Stegen. The problem for Barca's defence there was they didn't see Koke's arrival.
Whoa, you could hear the snoring from here. Sound asleep, one man marking two, nobody alert to the 1-2, nobody came out to play Carrasco offside. That was atrocious, and Ter Stegen saved them.
Well, we said that the Atletico players seem to be more lively, more optimistic, smiling a little bit as they came out of the tunnel for the second half. There won't be any lapses of concentration because Simeone will be fairly strict about that. They know it's only half done the job so far. Here's Andres Iniesta for Football Club Barcelona. Picks out Semedo. Brings the ball under control. This is Ivan Rakitic. Iniesta again, plenty of space for Iniesta there. Jordi Alba, cross blocked by Juanfran. Certain lack of imagination there, Graham.
Because everybody around him is static, Simon. It's time and time again, and it's handy that these lime green strips stand out so much against the red and white. You look as if you were the passer, and all you can see is bodies waiting for somebody else to do something.
Koke winning that, driving it forward into, I was going to say no man's land, it's Ter Stegen's land. Look how far up the pitch the German keeper is. Gerard Piqué, Rakitic, Busquets, caught by a bit of a late challenge there from Gabi. The referee looking at him, he booked Gabi very early on for his first challenge. We felt it was a little harsh. Since then, he's been taking a bit of a risk, hasn't he?
3 times, including that penalty decision. And maybe this is the night when he gets away with it, but you wouldn't want to keep taking those chances.
Busquets, lovely little back healer to Andres Iniesta. When everybody's losing their heads, you can guarantee the man who keeps his is Sergio Busquets, his Rakitic. Gomez picks out Leo Messi. Messi gets away from Saul, goes down, looks at the referee, play on, says Mateo Laoff. Correa, Gabi, Griezmann getting there ahead of Piqué. It was a good first touch from Carrasco, but just bullied off the ball really there by Samuel Umtiti. Here's Suarez. There's an overlap from Jordi Alba. He's going to get to it. Cuts it across to the far post. Overhits it. Leo Messi looks at him as if to say, what was that?
What did you have for breakfast?
I think everybody expected that to be pulled back as usual. It's swung in once again. Savage gets his head to it. Suarez. Oh, lovely turn from Suarez. Can't link up with Jordi Alba. And it'll be Iniesta to keep the move going. Andres Iniesta. Gerard Piqué. Semedo. Rakitic. Semedo overhits that. It's a goal kick.
Let me back up what you were saying when you said when everything's crazy, the guy you can guarantee will be keeping his head is Busquets. Here's the move where Barcelona overlap for one of the first times significantly in the match. Crazy piece of play from Jordi Alba, and Messi does take a double take to say, what the heck, fella? Here's that foul again, and well, under Mateo Lahoz, I've seen him ignore that time and time again. But Busquets before this game was the #1 recuperador, we call it in this country. 54 times he'd won the ball back. The leading guy to win the ball back for Football Club Barcelona.
Gerard Deulofeu warming up for Barcelona. Thomas Partey warming up for Atletico Madrid. Good work from Carrasco. Semedo got a touch, keeps the ball in play, does he? Certainly the fans behind the goal there feel he didn't. Griezmann with a slightly disappointed look. They get a throw in, it's quickly taken.
God, brilliant look that was. Come on, mate, I'm disappointed in you. That was like a father to a recalcitrant son.
Godin doing well, lovely turn from Carrasco. He's going to have a shot. Carrasco, well, he certainly seemed to be. Nobody closing him down. He manages to find Griezmann. Griezmann wide to Juanfran. And the block from Samuel Umtiti.
So unlike Carrasco, not to make a quick decision. That's why he's the leading scorer with 3 this season. That's why he scored a couple in midweek for Belgium. He's demonstrating with himself because he just lost his composure.
Correa. And that came off from Umtiti. No, it didn't.
Wow.
Given.
You and I both saw it exactly the same way.
I think Simeone agrees with us too. That's a poor decision.
It's a strange decision, I think.
I mean, surely that
last 2 touches
just seemed to, one from each buttock, I think, there as it went out. The linesman perhaps averting his eyes, didn't see it. Meanwhile, it's Leo Messi driving through the middle of midfield. He picks out Andres Iniesta. Bit of space here for Iniesta. Cuts it back towards Messi, but it was ill directed. And now Griezmann, and there's a chance. Correa wide on his right, still Correa. And Piqué given all the time in the world to get across there, and that was very, very, very poorly seen by Antoine Griezmann.
You've nailed it, because Griezmann had the chance a number of times to put the ball into an area where Piqué can't get to, simply cannot get to, and he delays as if he's making it look, I'm going to give my teammate the absolutely perfect pass, whereas Piqué anticipated it and was able to get across and block.
Koke finding Griezmann. Griezmann first time, he struck that like a rocket, but a rocket that was just narrowly off target. They're looking very, very sharp though, Atletico, and Barca looking sluggish. He really struck that, didn't he?
He did. I'm going to say that I'm looking at Stegen's body language, that he knew it was a powerful hit, but Griezmann, I'm going to go back to the last chance and say, be sharper, be quicker, be the world-class provider that you actually are. Just a bad mistake, because at 2-0 now, you'd say, that's your 3 points the way this game's going.
Samuel Umtiti picks out Jordi Alba. Alba for Gomez. It's too easy to take the ball off him for Stefan Savic there.
And Savic starts without the advantage positionally and beats him for pace as well. This is one of the things that Gomez is a midfielder. He is not a winger. It's as simple as that.
Alba with the throw. Samuel Umtiti. Correa just about did enough. There's a chase for Griezmann. Piqué with that anticipation, getting there first, staying quick to play the ball out. Nelson Semedo to Ivan Rakitic. Is Busquets in his preferred location. Through the middle to Messi. Lovely reception from Messi, but there were 3 or 4 red and white shirts he had to try and get past. Felipe Luis being chased by Suarez. That's powerful play from Carrasco again. Gerard Piqué just having the advantage. Carrasco causing problems for the Barca defence now.
Some referees who wouldn't have allowed Piqué just to get hands on the Belgian, just to slow him by a second or two. That's Mateo Lao's style. Not just advantage, some physical contact is allowed.
Ivan Rakitic for Barcelona. Busquets. Andres Iniesta. Now Alba. Suarez misread that. Iniesta was quick in to intercept. Busquets gets a touch back to Samuel Umtiti. It's Jordi Alba. Busquets again. Leo Messi. Just manages to shake off the attentions, the close attentions of Saúl Ñeguez. And this time he takes the ball off Messi. Loses out to Busquets. Griezmann helping out. Gavi gives it away to Alba in precision. Can Messi take advantage of this? Here's Suarez. Gets away from Godin. Suarez with the shot. Blocked by Oblak, and he does so well to get the ball away from the area. Still Messi, and finally it's Godin who clears once more. Umtiti keeps the ball in play. Here's Nelson Semedo. Suarez. Semedo saying, I'm taking that, and André Gomez letting him. Carrasco back to Felipe Luis. Griezmann. Here's Koke, a chance perhaps on the break now for Atletico. The first touch from Correa letting him down. André Gomez. Here's Messi. Down he goes. Free kick.
I need to pick up on what you said. It was absolutely perfect the way you nailed it. And Atleti, when they're in control of the ball, as long as they're winning it back quickly and not gifting it away, are in control of this match. As soon as the ball is gifted away, Barcelona have pace, they have momentum, they move it quickly, and it ends up, first of all, with Suarez's ability to turn and shoot, forcing Oblak into his first decent save, and now this free kick in a dangerous area of Messi's own form. And it just comes from the breakdown of play where they give the ball away unnecessarily, something that they do so rarely.
Well, we've seen Jan Oblak in action, and that shot he managed to block, and I thought did brilliantly to really get the ball away from the danger zone.
Strong arms.
He really is a fantastic goalkeeper. And an opportunity now for Leo Messi. Suarez is standing over this as well, but you wouldn't put money on the Uruguayan getting to take it. Plenty of players in the wall. Messi off the upright. What a brilliant strike. I'm not sure if Oblak might have had it covered. Messi with a little smile on his face.
A great face.
He knew how well he struck that. Let's have another look. Look what's going on the ball. It's almost like a line-out rugby, isn't it?
It's what's going on in the ball that I love, because it's you look at the distance, you look at what's going on in front of him, you look at the size of the keeper, and there's no way he should be able to bend that, and he almost did. And I think that's maybe 9 times that Messi's hit the woodwork this season, as well as outright leading the Pichichi Stakes as well.
Well, Nico Gaitan is about to become the first new introduction onto the pitch. The Argentine will be replacing the number 11, Angel Correa. One Argentine for another. Nico Gaitan started his career at Boca Juniors, and another Argentinian by the name of Cholo Simeone, leading the applause of the Metropolitano, and it is brilliant, the connection between the fans and the manager. We're seeing it once again. Good performance from Correa. He's worked hard.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. But I look at it as an interesting change in that they're the same nationality and they like to play in the same half of the pitch. But Correa's role is to play in and around Griezmann as second striker. Guy tends to play wide. Even if the tactical adjustment is suave, is a nuance, it's a change.
You're going to get your wish as Sergio Roberto prepares to come on. There is Suarez's shot. And, Oblak just, there's no way.
Sensational about everything. Body position, how he uses his arms, two hands fully behind it. Brilliant. Textbook goalkeeping.
As I said, Sergio Roberto about to be introduced. He's going to replace Gomez, you assume.
And coaches tend not to want to give just 45 minutes unless they're...
His Suarez, beautiful control. He looks up, almost exasperated, waiting for support. Finds it here from Jordi Alba. Alba wide to Iniesta. Iniesta's cross. And just cleared by Felipe Luis. Not far enough. Here's Semedo. Rakitic. Semedo again. Ivan Rakitic. Atletico have got men back behind the ball. It's a firm challenge from Savic on Suarez. They both get up quickly. Here's Jordi Alba. Iniesta again. Barca insisting now. He gets away from Koke, and Alba trying desperately to get a back healer there. Just couldn't quite do it. The laws of gravity at times go against these players, don't they?
That's where they missed Correa, because the ball was there for Juan Fran to find the long, raking, counter-attack ball, and Correa wasn't making the runs he normally does.
Iniesta to Suarez. Luis Suarez. Now Semedo. Forced to play it back to Gerard Piqué. Now Busquets. Alba once more. Busquets to Iniesta. First time from Suarez. He's claiming handball. The referee says no. Suarez looks at the linesman. Meanwhile, things going on. And it looked to me as though Godin and Andre Gomez had the handbags out a bit there.
It's the actions of a man who thinks he's going off. I think Gomez thinks this is my last moment. A bit frustrated. Well, that's a handball in my view. That's a handball and a penalty.
Just get the arm up behind his back, doesn't he?
Hit first before the laws, as applied right now, says if there's contact from body to arm, and there was there, Mateo Lahoz right again. Delafeo on for Andres Iniesta. Iniesta, of course, spent the 2 weeks of the international gap trying to get fit, trying to rid himself of a muscle pull, which took him off at the end of the Las Palmas game. And then we see Sergio Roberto on for Semedo.
So Sergio Roberto to play it right back, and Delafeo wide on the left.
With that ability of Roberto to move into midfield or to overlap, as we saw from right back, as we saw at Getafe when they made that equalising goal for Denis Suarez. Sergio Roberto was the right player from the start of this game.
We're going to see Delafeo on the right side of midfield in attack for Barca, which means Gomez would have to change his position, presumably.
I'd like to take a little look at what Valverde has asked him to do, because Delafeo can play either side. Predominantly, he likes to play on the right. I've got no doubt that what we're going to be able to see is Gomez playing in midfield, which is where he should have been playing. There's just a minute touch on the hip there.
Yeah,
you have to say, for the referee and the assistant, really well done again.
Excellent performance from Mateo Lahoz so far. May keep it up for the next 28 minutes. Gomez has moved left, and Delafeo and his preferred right side of attacking midfield. Here is Gomez. To give him his due, he's quite prepared to follow his coach's orders and play in almost any position on the pitch.
Without getting too technical, he's a player who likes to see the game and come onto the game rather than be forced in any situation to receive the ball with his back to goal.
Iniesta, good performance from him over the opening hour, I felt.
Given his fitness and those superb slide rule passes, then absolutely yes.
And Semedo, I think, did well as well, but perhaps doesn't quite have the attacking quality of this man, Sergio Roberto. It's picked up by Leo Messi, talking about quality. Now Carrasco, bundled over by Sergio Busquets, who's frustrated, but the referee was well placed to see that, and I don't think he's got too much of an argument, Busquets, there.
Won cleanly, but in the tackle from behind that's now outlawed. So Sergio Busquets' frustration is, there was a day when you could get, you can't come through the back like that. No. You can't.
7 fouls committed by Barcelona, 6 by Atletico Madrid. It's not often we see that kind of statistics when we're looking at levels of intensity between these two.
There's not. The Atleti are in a rare position of being fouled more than they foul this season. 96 times they've been fouled, 83 times they've been fouled.
Gabi. That's good play from Saul again, but in the end Atletico lose it. It's a throw to Football Club Barcelona. 63, nearly 64 minutes on the clock.
Just before the substitutions, it felt like a change of momentum in that Barcelona were speeding up their movement, speeding up their passes, not dominating the game, but certainly looking a whole lot livelier than any time during the first half. Simeone furious about how that was won by Gomez there. Absolutely furious.
Here's Samuel Umtiti. Jordi Alba. Gomez can't get away from Juan Fran. Holds on to the ball though. Looks despairingly at the linesman. Messi to Piqué. Deulofeu back to Messi. And that's a fine challenge indeed. It was Koke who took it off Messi. Griezmann helping out too. Gets a lot of applause. Here he is again, Griezmann. First time to Koke, Griezmann goes down. Play on, says the referee. Busquets with the hands wide as if to say, I never touched him. The referee agrees. Here's Gomez. That's an intelligent ball. Felipe Luis doing well to get his head to it. Deulofeu. Rakitic was just desperate to get that ball. Here's Busquets. Suarez to Messi. Messi's shot, Black holds it at the second time of asking. It's a little bit better from Barcelona.
Look how much it fits. Gomez coming onto the ball, has time and space to run, find the right pass to Rakitic. It's shuttled across the front to the penalty box much more quickly, more coherently than almost at any other stage, and therefore we see Messi alive and Black working.
In that move, you could see in the replay, Felipe Luis with his arm raised. It looked as though Suarez was narrowly offside. But certainly that's a bit more positive from Valverde's Barcelona. They've got 25 minutes left to get back into this game. And it's never easy against Atletico. When they get ahead, they're one of the toughest teams around to get back at. They really are in their ideal situation, aren't they? 1-0 up, you come to us and see if you can get past us. Also very, very quick on the break. There's a problem here for Carrasco's down, holding his face. That's got to be an off-the-ball incident if there is anything going on. He's staying down. Mateo Rolf, the referee, not particularly impressed. We've seen Paulinho warming up on the sidelines. Carrasco back on his feet. Messi to Rakitic. Deulofeu back to Messi. Real opportunity for Deulofeu tonight, you would have thought. Gomez doing brilliantly there. Lovely little slalom. Finds Jordi Alba, who misplaces the pass. Carrasco fully recovered, anticipating well. Problems for Juan Fran as he comes up against his fellow fullback from the Spanish national side, Jordi Alba, who finally is penalised.
It's funny, football's a strange game. What's right one day is wrong the next day. We praised Sampaoli, the Argentina coach, for getting his team to play that beautiful cutback from wide, Angel Di Maria, in the goal fest against Ecuador. But every La Liga team is looking for what Jordi Alba did there and trying to cut the ball right back across the edge, from the left edge of the big box right to the D. And every team in La Liga knows that move, and it's where you begin to see Dembele's absence, not simply for his skill, but the third striker means every team knows Barca are going to look for Messi all the time, and they cut it out more often than not.
Griezmann finding Nico Gaitan's back. Decent control in the end. He didn't know too much about it. Looking for Carrasco. Ter Stegen quickly aware to the danger. And Carrasco knows that could have been an opportunity there.
If the flight of the ball had taken it just over him and dropped in front of him rather than bouncing off him, Stegen would have been caught out.
Busquets to Ivan Rakitic. Sergio Roberto. Deulofeu gets away from Godin, pulls it back. There was Luis Suarez. And it's a goal kick, but again from the other side, Barcelona now starting to penetrate.
Quicker movement of the ball, overlaps, quicker passes, sharper thinking. It isn't simply that they've got substitutes on, it's different types of players, different positional space, and Barcelona beginning to resemble themselves again. Atleti coping, let's not get overexcited. Atleti managing the situation, but now we've got a proper game in our hands.
Interesting little incident there as Deulofeu had words with Mateo Laoz. I think he wasn't happy with the first challenge from Godin. I think he felt it could have been a corner instead of a goal kick, which replay suggests it probably wasn't. Deulofeu at times has got a bit of a reputation for being, shall we say, lippy, and I don't think Mateo Laoz was particularly impressed. Now it's Koke who's down.
Deulofeu does have a problem in terms of how he's regarded, and that goes for around the club too. There was once he started the season so well, there was a video released of him larking about and dancing in his, which seemed to be in his kitchen, and that didn't go down well with the club, and it's certainly the case that he needs to amend that as well as he amended his play at the beginning of this season.
No problems there for Ter Stegen. Well, if you get in trouble for dancing around in your kitchen, I mean, there are worse places to be dancing. I'm just trying to think of some of the videos that Dani Alves...
Tramp's Nightclub, for example.
Has published over the years.
Danny outdresses poor old Gerard Deulofeu quite substantially.
Yeah, outdresses most people in Tramp's Nightclub as well. You've got to be fair.
I would pick up on your point that Deulofeu is still a work in progress, on and off the pitch. Not a bad boy, very talented, useful to this club, no doubt right now, but still with some rough edges.
Jano Black with a long clearance for Atletico as we near the last 20 minutes of this fascinating clash. Titi to Busquets. Busquets, who I can't remember him misplacing a pass so far today. Here's Leo Messi. Rakitic gets into the box. It falls to Messi. Not too far away, and all of a sudden you can see.
That's
great to see.
They were grinning even as they were down in the ground, and you know from even our amateur playing days, when you get on tumble like that, it can all go off. There can be elbows and pushing and shoving. The two great warriors, two South Americans, were grinning as they got up, and it's lovely play, and we're seeing better football now, but it's taken a long time, and Atleti need to stem the tide a little bit.
They do. Barcelona looking far more threatening as they get to the edge of that Atletico area. This is really finely poised right now. Koke back to Saul. There's Diego Godin leading by example once again, although that's not his best pass.
Saul's goal was his first since May, first of the season too. And it meant the Barca, having won here so often, regularly, I think 4 out of the last 5 being 2-1 victories, they went down 1-0 at half-time for the first time since 2013. And given Messi hitting the post, scraping the post in the first minute, the free kick hitting the post, then that which seemed to tip a glove from Oblak, he's coming alive, and Atleti can't allow that to happen if they want to win this game.
Deulofeu on the ball for Barca, finds Leo Messi. Sergio Roberto cleanly taken off him by Felipe Luis. Gabi almost dispossessed by Busquets there. And Atletico now at the stage of just clearing the ball and getting it some 20-30 yards away from the danger area.
Doesn't it feel like Simeone needs to be looking at Gabi and saying his only contributions have been to risk a second yellow so far, and a move, for example, like Thomas Partey might be on the cards.
Jordi Alba back to Umtiti. Here's Piqué. Space opened up for Gerard Piqué. He's happy to take it. Andre Gomez. Alba making the run. Gomez tries the shot. Probably not a bad thing for his confidence, but the ball always rising, and no threat to Oblak there.
Interesting, right across the line, there's no remonstrations anywhere amongst his teammates. Okay.
Well, you called it, although it's Carrasco who's being replaced by Thomas Partey and not Gabi. Presumably, Cholo wants Gabi's influence there on the pitch.
You can understand that, and I understand the gamble. I think Partey's energy and legs and ability to set up goal assists, it seemed a logical thing to me, particularly seeing as Atleti are not directly under threat right now, but they can't allow chance after chance to keep occurring like that. It's asking, so I'll say it's asking a lot of Griezmann, because while 1-0 sits very well with him, I totally agree with you, there's obviously the chance, if you look how high up Piqué and Alba and Roberto are playing, the breakaway goal is there for you, and it says to Griezmann, that substitution, it's all on you, fella.
And Carrasco, his performance, a pretty decent one for the club.
Terrific. Within the lines of his performances this season, number one goal scorer with 2 assists already, and he made the difference with his movement and then the pass for Saul. The goal stands on its own, but without the movement and the losing of his marker and the pass, Saul doesn't get that chance to shoot.
Here is Thomas Partey with his first touch. It's a pass back to Godin. Brilliant performance from Diego Godin in these opening 73, nearly 74 minutes. Partey can't get beyond Andre Gomez. And here is Mark ter Stegen. Umtiti, Jordi Alba avoids the pressure from Partey.
Yeah.
And Luis Suarez felt he'd won a throw in there. The referee telling him quite clearly that it's Atletico to put the ball back in play.
The men in yellow have been good tonight, Simon. Very, very good. High standard.
Yeah. 1 or 2 calls which, with the benefit of 5 or 6 very close-up slow-motion replays, we said could have gone differently, but...
yeah, the day in which we can give Blade Runner instant VAR to referees in special glasses...
Commentators, it would be...
it's the day you can call that Gabi penalty challenge on Messi.
Rakitic picks out Jordi Alba. Alba's cross, nobody there except Godin, who heads clear, but not too far clear. Sergio Roberto. Here's Deulofeu. Picks out Alba once again. It's not the greatest ball from Deulofeu. Jordi Alba's not going to be too happy with having to sprint 20 yards to keep that one in play. Piqué. Metropolitano almost forgetting to jeer him, but just remembering at the last moment, Piqué holding onto the ball long enough to provoke. There's Andre Gomez. Umtiti. Busquets quick to play it wide. Sergio Roberto, not a good cross. Might be complicated for Juanfran, however. And Jordi Alba goes down.
That's so foolish. It's not, I mean, it's not, it mustn't be a red card. It's just Juanfran has given Alba a chance to win a free kick when there was no danger of any kind, and as soon as he raises his arm like that, there's a massive risk. It's just, he's such a clever player. He's eked the absolute most out of his talent over the years, and it's just something he didn't need to do, and it's the elbow, not the hand. Alba doesn't look clever because he's holding his face, but the elbow goes towards Alba's throat, and the referee and the linesman are always going to give that. Unnecessary.
It's a free kick to Barcelona. We've got 14 minutes of this fascinating clash left. Leo Messi looking up to weigh up the options. Wearing the captain's armband since Iniesta's substitution. Headed down by Piqué. Umtiti couldn't get on the end of it. Atletico clearing that one with some sense of desperation. Messi brilliantly finding Gomez. Gomez to Umtiti. Umtiti hesitating, didn't quite know what to do. In the end, hits the shot and hits it on target.
That was shooting by join the dots. First I control the ball, then I turn this way, now it's time to hit it. Not a natural born striker, Umtiti, I don't think.
Paulinho is going to be the third change made by Valverde. Who's he going to replace, Graham?
You'd imagine Rakitic. Goal scoring potential. He's scored twice. He's set up Messi. There's an understanding between the two men. Paulinho, in my view, would have started had he not travelled so many miles, suffered jet lag, and played 180 minutes in 2 of Brazil's games, while he scored, by the way.
Here's Griezmann. Now Thomas Partey. Juanfran offering the option wide. Juanfran back to Partey. Very quick there to play one out. Cocky gets the return ball and can't feed it through to Partey. Brilliant anticipation from Jordi Alba, just urging Barcelona forward. Look at the sprint Alba's made. Now it's Messi, and Messi, surprisingly, I think, misplacing that pass.
Gigantic opportunity, Simon, gigantic. If that pass had been right, it was 1-1.
Gabi on the ball for Atletico. Now Griezmann. Griezmann, and Alba doesn't have much left in the tank after that sprint, which was perhaps not necessary given the way the attack broke down. And he's quite happy to see Griezmann and Gabi slow things down. It's a good steal from Deulofeu, but Savic was very aware of that. Hooks the ball out of play.
Suarez was flat on his feet. You know, if he'd been on his toes, Suarez gets there first.
Paulinho's going to come on, followed by the kid, Fernando Torres. I'll tell you who's going to get the biggest cheer.
Well, listen, if this ends in a 1-0 win, the first win in the league for Cholo Simeone, that Torres is in this squad, on the pitch, at the Wanda to enjoy it is something that all romantics can be pleased about. I remember reporting on early days of my reign here in Spain when Atleti came to the Camp Nou regularly, and Torres absolutely terrorised Carlos Puyol. So he's long in the tooth, but glad to see him part of this.
You called the change as well for Barca. Paulinho's on to replace Ivan Rakitic. There's Busquets. Paulinho. Square to Samuel Umtiti. He picks out Jordi Alba, who's fully recovered since. In comes the cross, looking for Paulinho straight away. Griezmann helping out at the back. Juanfran Torres to clear. Umtiti rising imperiously above Griezmann there. He's got a bit of a height advantage on him.
He's also spent the last 2 weeks with him in the French camp, watching his movement, jousting with him. That probably helps the defender more than the striker.
Deulofeu, bit of space for him as he attacks Felipe Luis. Finds Suarez, not a bad first touch from Suarez, and not a bad right hand from Jano Black.
No matter who wins this game, that's beautiful football.
It is.
The winger on the move, and Deulofeu didn't always find the right pass. And I remember you and I commentating in his early games this season and commenting that that's what he was doing. It was a slide rule pass. The first touch from the Uruguayan is good enough, and he's just short of pace and power to beat Oblak. But that's still classic save. Lovely football.
And at the other end, Ter Stegen plays the ball out to Samuel Umtiti. We're inside the last 10 minutes here. That's a really sad sentence to have to pronounce, isn't it? Gerard Piqué. Deulofeu. Here's Sergio Roberto. Gerard Piqué. Square to Umtiti. Everybody except Ter Stegen in the Atletico half now. Deulofeu screaming for it on the right. Instead it's Jordi Alba on the left. The cross blocked by Juanfran. And the ball didn't want to go out for a while there. Finally did. His the Portuguese André Gomes back to Busquets. Sergio Roberto, bit of space opened up there. The cross comes in, and it's 1-1. Luis Suarez silencing the Metropolitano. Look at the response from Barca. Look at the response from Jordi Alba. Jano Black cannot believe it. Luis Suarez cropping up on the far post, and Barca are right back into it, and suddenly those 10 minutes are going to seem a lot longer for Atletico.
I want to go one back. I want to go back to what the coach did when he put Sergio Roberto on. I pointed out the fact that Gomez was out of position. How has Gomez played since the change? Twice as good.
Absolutely.
Look at this space and the overlap, the movement. In the first half, we talked about how static they are. There's a centre forward doing what centre forwards do well. But look at Sergio Roberto. He's born to that role. That idea that Valverde had and chose Gomez for about can we move into positions where we shouldn't be and give superiority of numbers. That was the Guardiola phrase. And Sergio Roberto is born to do that, has been doing it all his life for Football Club Barcelona, and Gomez hadn't. Gomez has been playing international football for 2 weeks. Hello, Mum. That's maybe Suarez saying hello to his parents, or else being slightly controversial than one of the Metropolitan. But But why wouldn't you when you just scored the equaliser with 8 minutes left?
I mean, we all know how it works, Graham. When you receive the flack for 82 minutes, you score the goal.
You say hello.
You say hello to the fans, and I think the fans accept and expect that.
Well,
but what a brilliant header from Luis Suarez. What a brilliant header from Suarez.
They've just signed an equivalent back in Diego Costa, who'll be doing exactly the same at the Camp Nou in the second half of the season once he scores the equaliser with it got to. You're right about the header, but boy, the supply was Rolls Royce. And
can I just tell you, I mean, obviously the supply had two options. One of them was Paulinho in the middle, one was Suarez on the far post. Black got a hand to that header, and that took some doing. Here's Deulofeu taking on Felipe Luis, just taking him on a little bit too far. Fernando Torres has come on. I didn't see who for, I have to say. We'll check and we'll tell you as soon as we know. It was a quickly made substitution while the replays were being shown.
And while our eye was being drawn to what's been spectacular about this match, can Barcelona unlock a clever, hard-working, dignified Atleti side? And they did so once, and they almost did it again with Sergio Roberto being the one to press and to win the ball and set Deulofeu free again. The Sergio Roberto substitution has been typical of Valverde. I mentioned the fact that time and again this season he's changed situations. The key is for him to begin to get it right all the time from the start. But he, as much as any of the actual players on the pitch, has changed the flow of this game.
I just want you to tell me if you can see Gabi Fernandez still on the pitch. I can't see him. In that case, it's Torres for Gabi. Leo Messi on the ball. Just taking it a little bit too far. That'll be a goal kick. That's one heck of a change if that's the one that Simeone's made.
Torres is on because it's clear that Griezmann is too isolated. There's the delivery. Juanfran wrong position. Neither of the centre halves going with Suarez, which their job is. And it's what he does brilliantly. And the confidence he got back, because he was missing those. The confidence he got back from a right foot and a left foot finish against Bolivia in the 4-2 win for Uruguay. You knew made him a more deadly player this afternoon, but with the service, a silver service.
Well, that goal makes him a more deadly player for defences all over La Liga Santander, that's for sure. Good news for Football Club Barcelona. Here's Jordi Alba combining with Messi. Have a great understanding, those two. Messi getting away from Partey with ease, finds Paulinho, and some superb skill from Diego Godin there.
Diego Busquets Godin. And he's on the run. That run began to be reminiscent of a Tony Adams goal that won the title, and at the Old Highbury, as he won the ball, carried on the run and scored, I think, against Derby, and Godin's now going to make the long trek back. But that's Fred Astaire. Fred Astaire in football boots.
Yep, caviar, delicatessen, whatever you want to call it. Diego Godin, not just a hard man, he knows how to play this game too. And you can see the disappointment on his face as Barcelona have got right back into this, and right now you've got to say, with 5 minutes to go, this is anybody's game, because Barca are pushing forward. Atletico have got Torres, Griezmann, Gaetan out there, the quality of Koke and Saul.
The game is stretched. The game is stretched, and Barca are no longer asphyxiated. Number one, by the marking scheme and the hard work of Atleti, who are trudging, but equally they've come alive. Those who have been feeling cobwebs or jet lag are now saying, we're in this, we're going to win it. It can go either way, I totally agree, but the domination of the away side in the second half has been greater than the domination on the home side in the first half.
Yeah, a brilliant response from Barcelona. All kudos to Valverde for whatever his pep talk was at half-time. Juanfran Torres has just been penalised for that last challenge on Luis Suarez, and it's Leo Messi to take the resulting free kick. Swinging it into the box and into the domain of Jano Black. He's quick to send it back. Only one man up front, and that's Nico Gaetan. Lovely control. Messi helping out at the back. Koke, and that was an under-hit pass. Very risky challenge from Busquets. He made it cleanly.
He had to get to the ball before the man arrived, otherwise it's obviously going to be a foul, maybe a booking. He judged it to millimetres.
Here's Gaetan again. Look at Torres lurking on the edge of the box. This is Griezmann. Saul Nieguez. Felipe Luis in space on the left. So too is Koke here on the right with Juanfran, and look at Simeone urging the players on, and Busquets once again getting a crucial boot in there. Saul Probably the couple of minutes in this second half in which Atletico have pushed Barca the furthest back. Here's Juanfran. Titi with the clearance. It'll be a throw to Atletico. And the Metropolitano urging the Colchoneros on.
You pointed out that's the 13th man because Cholo Simeone is the 12th man.
Absolutely. Suarez for Barcelona. Can Barca hit Atletico on the break? De La Feu, a fresh pair of legs. Driving forward, only Felipe with him. Andre Gomez. Here's Gomez. Can he try the shot? Oh, and Suarez so close to getting on the end of it. Maybe he should have had a go himself, the Portuguese, Graham Hunter.
If you're Andre Gomez, I buy your argument, but if you're Andre Gomez, you don't do that. You're not establishing the team. Your confidence isn't as it would be normally. You're not a prolific scorer, and you deliver the perfect ball. That's a failure by Suarez. That's to be finished. He's just short in his arrival and his launch at the ball. In the last few seasons he's been at Barcelona, he scores 98 out of 100 of those. Gomez did the right thing.
Well, there's the earlier ball collected with grace by Jan Oblak, and still Barcelona come forward. It's Sergio Busquets on the ball. De La Feu looking to link up first time with Paulinho, and it was a good interception by that man Diego Godin, quite rightly wearing the captain's armband and sprinting to get back now as De La Feu links with Sergio Roberto. Here's the danger man Messi, shakes off the attentions of Koke, finds Suarez. Suarez gets it on his right foot and tries the shot, not too far over the top, and the home fans letting Suarez know exactly what they think about him.
Let's give kudos to De La Feu. De La Feu, since he came on, has won the ball back, has overlapped numerous times, has set up chances, made good passes. Just as Sergio Roberto has turned this game, so has De La Feu, and it tells you something about Valverde. Saw these guys over the 2 weeks of the international break when they were at home with him, working hard under him, and he didn't select them. And he's going to look at that on his long travel home to Catalonia from the capital tonight and say, I made a mistake.
Well, if the score stays like this, it's not going to be seen as a disaster, especially with Barca coming from behind. Paulinho driving forward there, very stretched, as you say. Gomez, Partey was there to just get a touch to it. Oblak clears, advantage Titi, but that one straight out of touch for a throw-in.
Yeah, we've seen what Atleti weren't showing, that some of their players have jet lag too, took the pressure of qualifying matches in Europe, and the game is so stretched and open. It's atypical for anything you see in a desired Cholo Simeone situation.
Especially as you pointed out, 3 minutes have been added, so 3 more to play. You pointed out how much further they'd run than the Barca players in the first half too, starting to show 1 or 2 tired legs for the Colchoneros. Piqué plays that back to Ter Stegen. The Metropolitano fans urging Koke on to pressurise the German keeper. Firm challenge from Thomas Partey and a free kick given, and Simeone insisting that his players respond and get back behind the ball, whether it's a free kick or not. He doesn't care. He wants the players to maintain concentration for the next 2.5 minutes. Busquets to Paulinho. Sergio Roberto. De La Feu. Paulinho. Busquets. Leo Messi lays it off superbly to Andre Gomez. Gomez finds Jordi Alba. Alba's cross, and it was Leo Messi who so nearly got on the end of it. Andre Gomez keeps things going. Here's Titi. Sergio Roberto. De La Feu screaming for it and getting it. He fancies his chances against Felipe Luis here, combining with Suarez. Back to Suarez, who just can't get on the end of it, and it's Thomas Partey maintaining his cool and playing the ball out. Here's Torres. He wins the throw for Atletico. 1.5 minutes to go. Saul losing out to Titi, pulling him back. That's a free kick. And Titi not too pleased with that one.
And also Saul's worked under Simeone. The ball just accidentally gets kicked away.
I think a yellow card is out for Saul. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Taking that one for the team. Doing the boss's work. I mean, the boss would be out there making the fouls himself if he could, wouldn't he? And Titi not at all happy there. Sergio Busquets. Alba to Andre Gomez. Suarez back to Alba into the last minute. Here's Suarez. Can't make the pass. It's given away to Leo Messi. Don't give it to him. And Griezmann making up for it, but Messi stays down. It's a free kick in the D, and the card is out for Griezmann, and he knows it.
It's not just remorse you're seeing there, that's tiredness.
Yep.
You pinpoint the fact that they'd outrun them, that they'd used so much energy in the first half, and that's a tired decision, and to then foul like this is just tiredness, and you wouldn't make that decision if it wasn't the 92nd minute of the match, and it's such a giveaway.
Yeah, you've made the bad pass. You want to make up for it for your teammates.
And you compound the foul.
60,000 plus people here, and you make it worse because this, well, it's not a penalty, it's not easy, but Jano Black knows that he's still got work to do. And look at the time, 92:57, 3 minutes added. This is the final touch of the game. Well, this has been an astonishing match here. What a privilege it is to be working with La Liga Santander, seeing a game like this. Two teams who play completely different approaches, their football. But what a 90-minute performance this has been, and it's going to go right down the line.
It's the reason the world is watching. Best footballers playing the best football.
Leo Messi is one of those. It's surely going to be Messi. Nobody can doubt that in the Metropolitano. Can he get this one on target? Can he beat Jano Black? This for 3 points. Leo Messi! Straight into the body of Jano Black. A lovely smile on the face of the greatest player the world has ever seen. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. 1-1 between Atletico and Barca in the Metropolitano. Well, Jano Black's had his work to do in this second half. What an astonishing 90 minutes football, Graham Hunter.
What a beautiful way for it to finish. Messi winning the free kick, Griezmann's error, Messi breaking the wall, putting it on target. Oblak there, solid. You could hear the thump and the sigh from the wand all around him. And it's like a little metaphor. Here's the movement, Piqué away, Atleti asleep again, Oblak thanking the Lord that's going straight down his gullet. And if a side deserved to win, the second half was demonstrably Barca's, then Barca deserved to win. But I have to say, as a neutral watching this, I'm glad Oblak grabbed that. I'm glad Atleti got that point.
It wasn't Leo Messi's best ever free kick, was it?
No, once the gap moves, he's thinking there's going to be an element of surprise because he doesn't expect the wall to go like that.
Brilliant work from Busquets and Piqué to open up like
and
that.
How often do you see Atleti as naive as that?
Yeah,
so rarely.
Very rarely, yeah. Suarez, the man who got Barcelona's second half equaliser. Honours shared, honours even here. I agree with your comment, Graham. I think it's a fair result. The cliche is football's a game of two halves. I think Atletico bossed the first half.